9 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's stay with this conversation of VBS Bank. The Mzansi Business Forum has also added its voice to the conversation around the decision to place the bank under curatorship. The group, which claims to represent nearly 16,000 members, says there wasn't sufficient engagement to assist VBS Mutual Bank. Its president, Kevin Xulu, joins us now in studio. Sia, good to have you in studio. Thanks for coming in.
Good morning, Leanne.
Very quickly, what is the Mzansi Business Forum?
Mzansi Business Forum is a business forum that combines, or that is formed by a group of business people, especially who support the ideology of supporting each other. Our main push for it is we're driving a campaign called I Support Black Businesses, where we create opportunities amongst each other. We've been at it for the past 3 years. This is our 4th year. And it has proven to be a remedy for us as entrepreneurs, where we found that if we get frustrated, let us just come and put our heads together in order to find a solution. Again, we also defend the rights of those who are, unfairly treated, especially on our current economy. We have a lot of imbalances that causes us to feel that we have to stand out for each other.
All right. So, having said that, let's look at VBS Mutual Bank.
Yes.
What is your standpoint on what's just been revealed?
Look, as a business forum, we feel that this is a big blow to black business. The way it was handled, we understand measures had to be put in order to safeguard the people who have deposited money in the bank. But however, we have seen a lot of issues that our country faced, where government had to give bailouts. SAA, for instance, they were giving bailouts, and many other institutions. Now, when you find a black business in a democratically elected government, and they are being given such a harsh measure, which at the end of the day, we feel as black business that there could have been measures of engagement that would prevent such an action. Because, when people are being put under curatorship, you tend to feel that it's because they are not capable of running their own affairs. Look at these guys. 2 years ago, they were having 200 to 300 million balance sheets. And then after that, 2 years later or 3 years later, they've got over 2 billion, which is something that was obviously injected by these municipalities. Couldn't there be a solution our government could have put to assist them in getting a commercial license, or making it sure?
Do you think they went that route, though? I mean, we're assuming. Did they want a commercial banking license? Did they go that route? Because what has happened and what we've gathered, we had Kaya Sitole a little bit earlier telling us that what was happening was illegal. So they should never have been accepting banks from municipalities. So they're operating illegally, and now they're being held to account for that. So, we don't know. Did you know if they wanted a commercial banking license?
Yes, I do know, because I think for 6 months they've been trying to engage Treasury on this issue and other institutions. For 6 months they were ignored. This was the information.
But they started taking deposits 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, why only 6 months ago would they want this commercial banking license, whereas they've been illegally taking this money 2 years ago?
Yes, but the truth is, I do believe even municipalities, for them to come to that conclusion of supporting them, is based on their success from 1982 coming forward. We must move away from this thinking of always trying to look at it in one side, because for my belief as a black business activist is that our government preaches the idea of supporting black businesses. I would have imagined that they would assist them. As a regulator, Reserve Bank should have assisted even in advising them accordingly. Only about the circular that we had a few days ago, that there was a circular that was given to municipalities to withdraw. This was a recipe for disaster anyway, because what increased their balance sheet is the involvement of these municipalities. Yes, we agree they had to be protected, the people who have deposited, but couldn't there be a solution that will advance the cause of these people that have excelled in their field, excelled in what they have done as a black bank, because this industry is monopolistic.
Yeah, It certainly is, and but I somehow feel that this is a conversation that should be held on the sidelines of what's happening, because if we were talking about the fact that they had applied and then, you know, Treasury refused to give them this bank, and, you know, and now they're in trouble,
yes.
I don't think that that's the crux of the story. I mean, the crux of the story is that what's been going on is illegal, and that they should never have been doing this. And now the municipalities are at risk of never getting this money back. And that is the problem, because this is money that has been put into an entity that is meant to be for communities, for the upliftment of municipalities, and that's not going to happen. So I think defending them is a very difficult one, but perhaps
yes.
I'm missing out on something. How do you explain that away?
Look, we're not saying what they did is absolutely correct. I personally have seen banks being exempted. We've got Itala Bank in KZN, we've got Post Bank. Those are the only banks that function under the exemption of the Minister of Finance. So it means there is a prerogative that can be used to assist banks, because these two banks also don't operate under the Banks Act, because we know that the Banks Act only allows functionalities that are linked to commercial banking functionalities. Now, in this particular case, we have seen that our government just came, not government, but the governor explained the position of the bank, which we fully respect and understand. But we feel enough has not been done to assist this black business that has been trying to be a player in the market. We have seen with other banking banks like Discovery. 8 months it took for them to get a commercial banking license. Look at what the governor said. He said it takes 12 months to 18 months to get a commercial license. But with Discovery, it was only 8 months. It was through the speedy assistance, I believe, that was given to them. Why not have the same scenario happening to a black bank, supporting them to be able to get it? Because on my research, I had it on good record that they were assisted to be able to have being a player of our current.
I also see that the Black Business Council is trying to help as much as they can to intervene and to assist in this situation as well, which is exactly what you are saying. A lot of people pointing fingers at the fact that, yeah, this is a black-owned and run bank, and this is probably one of the issues leading to it, and also the fact that this is a bank that loaned former President Jacob Zuma money in order to pay off the Nkandla loan. Do you see a link between this? I mean, do you see a link between the hot water that they find themselves in and the fact that they were the ones funding President Jacob Zuma?
Look, my view is that as a bank, I believe the former president did go and approach them. He met the criteria they needed, and he got what he needed, and that's it. As far as the view that might exist, you never know. In politics, anything is possible. I have seen many things changing, so I'll run away from making a comment on that one, because one cannot really be too sure. But there's a pattern that has existed in our country whereby when a black business or a black institution has to be rescued or assisted, there are always issues because they always blame people like me of playing a race card where it shouldn't be. But the truth of the matter is someone must stand up for black businesses. I'll be honest with you. I always tell myself that it's time that the black people in our country should come together and raise ideas that will be able to assist each other. That is where the strength lies, because at the end of the day, some of us end up being timid because we're going to be blamed for playing the race card. Of course, we should fight for one another if we see that there's injustice in whatever is happening.
Absolutely. Sia, we leave it there. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Sia Kevin Xulu is from the Mzansi Business Forum, talking to us about the situation with VBS Mutual Bank. The time is 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Let's get your main bulletin to you now. Palesa, over to you.